Oh man, I am so excited to show you this video of one of my favorite internet satirists, one of my favorite memesters, one of my favorite S posters online, Benjamin Pepino. Let's check this out.
We're going to take a look at Ami Horowitz's new video. Ami went around New York asking people on the street if the richest people in America are paying their fair share in taxes. You can check out the full video over at Daily Wire's YouTube page. Let's get started.
By the way, before we get started, the guy who he's kicking it over to, this documentarian, Ami Horowitz, he's like, let's get Ami out there to do some just man on the street stuff, just see what's going on. But you might want to know this before we even get started about this guy, Ami Horowitz. He did a documentary about Sweden. So he basically made this documentary in 2016 that was like, immigrants in Sweden are out of control. And that immigrants were punching and kicking him. Some of Horowitz's statements about Sweden in the film and in subsequent interviews were described as false by fact checkers, news organizations, and criminologists, as well as Swedish authorities. Two policemen who were featured in Horowitz's film said that Horowitz edited answers and questions to misrepresent them. So the guy we're about to hear from, that Ben Pepino dug up, sounds very reliable. Two cameramen involved in the project later concurred after reviewing the raw film that the footage had been unethically edited to misrepresent the subjects. Horowitz denies it, but refuses to show the raw material.
I'm Ami Horowitz, and the mantra of the left is that the rich don't pay their fair share in taxes.
Okay, Brian Callen, let's hear what happens.
Let's go find out if that's true. Do you think the rich pay their fair share in taxes?
Fuck no, dude.
Do the rich pay their fair share in taxes?
No.
Absolutely fucking not. In America, in the United States, absolutely not.
No.
Not fair if all things are considered.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
No.
No.
Chance.
No, absolutely not.
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
No.
I just think capitalism is stupid and it doesn't work. I mean, obviously, look at our country, it doesn't work.
Okay, can we pause it there for 1 second? My favorite is when people who are wearing things that they bought at a store that are much nicer than anything they could get in a communist country are like, capitalism obviously doesn't work. She said while wearing a sweatshirt that she got at a store.
Make pee-pee.
Of all the stupid, lazy things in this video, this might be the stupidest and laziest and thus my favorite. Because first of all, look at what this girl's wearing. You could probably find something immediately nicer, even in North Korea. So he picked the one example where his little trick, which doesn't make any sense in the first place, the why do you have an iPhone if you don't like capitalism trick, he picked the one sort of example where it doesn't even work at a visceral level. Phoning it in. Mr. Hard Work, phoning it in. Not even paying attention. The second thing, of course, if you've ever heard this argument, if you're a person out in the world and you get into an argument with somebody, I don't know why you're doing that, but or you're on Discord or something arguing with somebody and they say, if you don't like capitalism, why do you have an iPhone? This is what we call a nonsense argument because it can be used to justify literally any system. Let's say you're in like a slave. So you're a slave. Let's say you're a slave, sorry. But you're a slave. The master could say, you don't like slavery, huh? Well, those rags you're wearing, that barrel, okay, I'm not going to make light of slavery, but you get it. Those rags that you're wearing, slavery brought you those. And you spit in the face of slavery. You get where I'm going with this, right?
No.
It literally can be used to defend any system. These handmaidens, where would they live whence but for this government we created? And they say they don't like being handmaidens. However, where are they going to get those cloaks? If they, oh, look at them, they're wearing a cloak, yet they hate being a handmaid. It's so stupid and lazy that we gotta give him a hand. This idiot. I bet, look, I'm just gonna say it, like, it's too easy to make fun of this channel, Like if you're thinking of, I want to start a YouTube channel, just watch a Ben Shapiro video and make fun of it. He's literally the stupidest person alive, yet gets 1.6 million views in 3 days from this. And the funny thing about this is that this is the least idiotic part of the video. Like what we just saw and all the things that I had to say there and waste my dumb breath saying, this is the least stupid part of the video that we just saw, which is, you know, I love it. Honestly, and I'm not even joking, like, this is my favorite comedy channel on YouTube.
And sunglasses she got at a store. And carrying a purse that she got at a store. Yes, communism is obvious. Just look at our country. It doesn't work. Yes.
Okay, here we go. This is where we get into the most important part of the video. People are like, the rich don't pay their fair share. And then this guy hits them with this bombshell.
Would it surprise you if I said the rich, the 1%, pay 40% of all taxes in America?
Interesting. Would surprise me. Yeah. Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So it's a little more fair than you might have thought.
Yeah.
No.
What percent of income do you think the top 1% pay?
I think they're paying like freaking 2% of that.
They're paying 27%.
What?
27%. What percent of their income do you think people at the 50% and below pay?
Probably higher than 27%. It gets higher the lower your income comes.
No.
So what do you think the number is?
I think it's probably...
Would it surprise you if I said the rich, the 1%, pay 40% of all taxes in America? So that guy says all taxes. The 1% pays 40% of all taxes. They've been talking about this for a while, these kind of guys. So The Intercept actually did a report about it that's pretty interesting that I'll read you just so you can get a little context. First, these numbers refer only to federal income taxes. The income tax is not the only tax collected by the federal government. Far from it. Just half of the taxes collected by the federal government come from the income tax. About a third come from payroll taxes, which fall much more heavily on working people, since they're largely levied only on the first 130,000 or so of earned income. Then there's the fact that it's not just the federal government that taxes Americans. There are also many, many state and local taxes, state income taxes, property taxes, sales taxes, Some of these, such as sales taxes, are actually regressive, i.e., the less money you make, the higher tax rate you have to pay. Okay, so that's point one. We're not even looking at all of taxes there. So you're already getting an inaccurate picture. That it's these poor. The poor don't pay any taxes. These pukes. Actually, they do. They pay actually a lot of taxes. If you look at the entire effective tax rate. Which they're not here. Because they're stupid. And this is another, like, just really funny. This is the more obvious part of this claim. Like, we just went into a little bit of technical stuff. Which I'm very sorry for. But again, we'll get into in a second why this is so important, okay? But they're like, the wealthy pay 40% of federal income taxes. They pay 40% despite being the 1%. Well, what you're just describing, you goofballs.
No.
You dummies, you idiots, is what I'm about to read here. According to the latest Fed data, the top 1% of Americanos have a combined net worth of blah, blah, blah trillion, 34 trillion. Or 30.4% of all household wealth in the U.S. What? So read that again. 1% of Americans have 30.4% of all household wealth in the U.S. What? Can we check that again? Excuse me? While the bottom 50% of the population holds just 1.9% of all wealth. So yeah, they're paying more in one area of the tax system, but because they have all the money, you idiot.
You're kind of like a snotty-faced bitch.
No.
You're kind of like a snotty-faced bitch.
No.
So just to clarify this, you walk up to a 20-year-old in Central Park who's just trying to like go get a pretzel or something, and go to work. You walk up to them and you say, would it surprise you if I said the rich, the the 1% pay 40% of all taxes in America. What you can also say, another way to put this is, hey, isn't it kind of strange that 1% of people in this country, 1%, own 30%, 30 point something percent of all household wealth in this country? Oh, they should not be taxed. They should not be taxed also. I mean, that's what Ben Pepino's really saying here, is that we have this crazy wealth distribution in this country and they should be taxed less. I mean, it truly is like the mind of a crazy person to think this. I mean, it's like literally like nihilistic. Even, it's so funny because we've known this for a long time. Even these like rich guys like William Gates and what's that other guy's name? Warren Buffett, who's named after those places where you just get food yourself. Even Warren Buffett and William Gates have said, yeah, we should be taxed more. The tax system is unfair. So what are we talking about here? Oh, you found a fake documentarian who's already been busted on a dishonest editing to go out there. Ben Pippi. And by the way, here's the other funny thing. This video was uploaded 3 days ago from when I'm recording this. 1.6 million views. Oh, sweet Jesus. Sweet Jesus in heaven, please help these people for Christ's sake.
You have a mental health problem.
Everyone's scared.
Okay, so just to summarize what's going on so far in this video, we are leaving out some details, which is that people at the bottom pay a lot in other taxes. Okay, we're leaving that out. And we're failing to mention to this stranger who just wants to go, go to the bathroom or whatever they're doing, walking through Central Park. We're also leaving out any context to this, which is that a massive amount of the wealth in this country, 30-something%, is in the hands of 1% of people. Leaving that out of the taxes thing here.
Do you think the top 1% pay?
I think they're paying like freaking 2% of that.
They're paying
No.
27%.
What?
27%. What percent of their income do you think people at the 50% and below pay?
Probably higher than 27%. It gets higher the lower your income comes.
So what do you think the number is?
I think it's probably over 50.
It's
Those
4%.
are naughty thoughts.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
4%.
Probably over 50.
It's 4%.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
I love that interesting is the code word for I'm an idiot. No. Interesting is like, oh, that is interesting. Well, I mean, I'm still going to vote for all the same politicians who've been lying to me. And I'm still going to say next time somebody asks me on the street that the rich should pay more taxes. But it is interesting that you're completely exploding my worldview with like one sentence. Sure.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Epic memes, dude. And here comes the part that they really don't want to talk about in this video. Calculating the fraction of income. Okay, so income paid in taxes is just one way to measure the effective tax rates and measure the progressivity of the nation's tax system. So they're basically saying, like, look, we're looking at income here. It's not the only way to look at what's the effective tax rate. To ascertain the extent to which taxes are higher for those with more ability to pay, it might make more sense to define effective tax rates as taxes paid as a share of taxpayers' net worth. So the people who did this study estimated that in 2019, the wealthiest 0.1% of households would pay 3.2% of their net worth, 3.2% of their net worth in taxes, while the bottom 99%, okay, we're talking about the real stuff here, the real money, the net worth, the assets that you have. Like my assets is that I have a Danish in the fridge that I can eat. That's one of my main assets. The wealthiest 0.1% of households would pay 3.2% of their net worth in taxes. while the bottom 99% of households ranked by wealth would pay 7.2% of their net worth in taxes. In other words, when defining effective tax rates as taxes paid as a share of wealth, not just income, they find that the tax system is very regressive. This is unsurprising, given that the concentration of wealth at the top is even more severe than the concentration of income at the top. So Ben Pepino, this moron, this absolute moron who is too lazy to work a real job, let's be honest, right?
So let me explain something to you. No.
What he's saying here is like, look, well, we're leaving this part out. Look, the wealth in this country is wildly distributed to a small number of people. 1% of people owning 30% of the wealth. But they should also not have to pay taxes. He's basically saying, and this brings us to this sort of kind of annoying abstract thing to talk about, which is quote unquote progressive taxation, which sounds like a weird thing. It's basically saying like, look, if you make a lot of money, or if you have a lot of wealth, as we looked at in the previous example, if you have a lot of wealth, you should pay more taxes. You should pay more into the system, basically. To put it simply, this is putting it simply, but this is basically the idea, is you should have to pay more if you have more. And the reason is because, let's take a look at Bill Gates, for example. Bill Gates or Warren Buffett, two good examples. Also, as we've seen, two guys who totally disagree with what they're saying here. Because we've known this for a really long time, but somehow we're still doing this on YouTube and getting 1.6 million views. Progressive taxation is basically like, look, a little old man who kind of looks like a puppet to me, Warren Buffett, or a little guy like Bill Gates. He's kind of a little bit of a shriveled guy, not to be mean, but they wouldn't do too well just like in nature, just like living in the jungle or something, right? So they're benefiting wildly from society. Is that true?
No.
So they would want to keep that going, right? So you might want to pay more into the system to keep the system functioning, correct?
No.
That's the idea of progressive taxation. By the way, something that economists pretty much all agree on, going all the way back to the grandfather or I don't know, what would you call Adam Smith? Like the OG of capitalism? The OG capitalism guy? Wealth of Nations said, people who make more need to pay more into the system. So he's kind of right that these people don't know what the numbers for taxes are. Because they're just people that they found in a park and edited dishonestly. But you don't know what you're talking about either because you're a YouTube idiot, right?
This is problems I have a lot of somethings with.
Toilets.
Okay.
It would definitely seem fair.
Telling me that's a reality? 100%.
Wow. I'm shocked.
Seems like the bottom should pay a little more.
The last guy goes, seems like the bottom should pay a little bit more. And this guy's like, yeah, we edited that in a way that now I'm doing my job, which is the billionaires that pay me don't want to pay taxes. In a country where 1% has 30% of the household wealth, they don't even want to pay any taxes. Hi, I'm Ben Pepino. I'm literally out of my mind. Like,
You have a mental health problem.
So let's get this straight. You want to live in a society where basically a third of the wealth is in the hands of 1%. I mean, just the insanity of that off the bat is a little bit of a...
No.
But then you don't even want those people to pay back into the system that allows this to exist in the first place. So I guess he's advocating for a world of just sort of, sort of a cyberpunk type of world where just gazillionaires that he is paid to say whatever they want. They live in some kind of a helicopter or like a floating city of some kind, and then And then just there is no society, I guess, for the rest of or everybody or something.
Everyone's scared. Everyone's scared.
And really, by the way, this whole thing is just like makes no sense if you know literally anything about economics or how like a civilization works at a basic level. So that's kind of interesting for 1.6 million views in 3 days. And by the way, we're leaving out a lot of information here. We've touched like the tip of the iceberg with this, with tax loopholes and all kind of tricky things that rich people and corporations do to get out of paying taxes. So 1.6 million views. 1.6 million views. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful times. A wonderful video. And
make pee-pee.
And bye-bye. Hey everybody, and thanks so much for watching this video. Like all the other YouTube and podcast perverts, I now have a Patreon. Every week on this Patreon, I'm uploading 2
exclusive
Patreon exclusive shows. They're like real shows, more produced, more edited.
A behind-the-scenes show where I reveal all my secrets, and a show where we go deep on an important topic that you will want to know about. Also, you get the daily and complete live show audio-only feeds. And at the top level, for only 25 bones, you can become a producer. These people that you're seeing right here make this program possible. Without them, nothing. It goes right in the toilet, right in the trash, and we set it on fire. It's these people who make it work. So please, for Christ's sake, become a patron. Bye-bye, love you.